Originally take them.
No, I was gonna keep felonies out of it, but my wife was getting felony because that old man of mine would have not been happy.
Nope.
We welcome you as we welcome
Thank you.
all of our staff here.
Like I said, no.
Okay, do we have any declarations of conflict of interest in this meeting?
No.
Okay. We'd like to excuse Shari. She's not available by phone, so she will not be joining us. So she's tripping, having a good time.
Oh.
Tripping? Cruising.
Oh, probably should say that.
So let's take a few minutes and go around the room and any council reports we may have. I'd like to take some time to do that. Let's start with Bo.
Oh, where do I start? Main Street, Kelly Wood will be here on the 16th for an RVA meeting. I just got a phone with her. There's quite a few topics to talk about there. Just because with Main Street, America, their program and some of the things that we currently have in the city might cross over, right? And so we just have to, as council, give a little bit more direction there. So they're discussion items. An example of that would be for Parks and Rec, or is doing activities or community. Kaya holds community events, but then we're doing a downtown Christmas activity or something, right? There's gonna be, so we just need to make sure that we've given them direction as to who's doing what and why. But there's been a lot of efforts there with some designs. There's a proposal on the desk for the facade grant program. I saw version 1 of that and read through it this week. And I really like it.
I was just gonna ask you how you like it.
Yeah, I mean, there's good things about it. There were a few concerns that I'm gonna be talking to Kelly about, but she's doing a great job. So that's that. By way of economic development, it's been a full-time job, honestly. Recently, there's been a lot of phone calls, a lot of interest in Tremont right now. I have meetings this week with potential hospitality companies wanting to come in and do hotels, people that are interested in all sorts of stuff here in the valley. So it's exciting, and I think our goals around bringing in new revenue are definitely well underway. There's some discussion tonight on a specific property that we need to address. That could also, have substantial impact on our revenue. So I'm excited, and there's a lot brewing. Are there any questions around it? Or, obviously,
A lot of it's kind of NDA type stuff where we don't talk about it right now until they're ready to let it be out. So
yeah, I mean, companies obviously don't want to expose to their competitors that they're coming in, right?
Yeah.
And so you have to be cautious with that, understandably.
So we will later have a closed session to discuss some potential real estate property.
There are some decisions to make there. Yep.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Me?
Christie.
Well, one chief is here. I wanted to thank the police chief and the fire chief for escorting the lacrosse girls, state champs, back in. The girls were ecstatic to see the fire truck and all the police officers. It's the first thing they said when they got off the bus. Did you see all those police officers? And we had the fire there. So thank you.
Is that a 5 feet? I mean,
Yes, that is 5.
Really?
Next year's gonna be 6.
I
and
don't
we're
think
gonna
they've
take
ever
some.
been beat since they started with Chrome.
They've lost
They're-
2.
I mean,
Yeah, they're
They lost
102
the
and 2.
102
2 and 2. Yeah.
Wow.
They're awesome girls. They really are. Okay, before I get started, I love this quote from the mayor that he put in his message for Mayor's Moments or whatever for this week. A house owned by all people. The mayor joined the Chamber of Commerce in Washington, D.C. and Philadelphia. And one thing that he kept coming back to after he read a carving on the FDR memorial is, I'll never forget that I live in a house owned by all American people and that I have been given this trust. But then I also liked his comment afterwards. That's the job, just not his. Mine and every elected person's, all the way down to city council chambers, right here in Tremont. The building isn't ours, the office isn't ours. The trust is on loan from the people who put us here, and it's worth remembering that every single day. Since I read that, it just kind of speaks volumes to me, and I just wanted to share that with you because I thought it was very, very good. Okay, so Carl isn't here tonight. He's unable to attend. Rocket Road is coming along. The power poles were moved. Cemetery roads will be paved at the same time as Rocket Road. They are starting that right now. Let's see, the pond, thank you, the equalization basin. Over there, I know where it's at. They started the fence on it a little while ago, but they were supposed to go in this week and finish it. And so that's going on. I had a meeting with Carl and with Andrew, and he told me, he said, Public Works is not responsible for the revenue. We are. And they have fixed costs, operation expenses, employee, equipment, data, and depreciation. Infrastructure is not a fixed income. Within the last 2 weeks, they had to partially drain one of the tanks that have the rollers in it that we all witnessed and saw, which resulted in an expensive $500,000 just to fix it right now. But that's just that one little fix. It's not the whole thing. The proposed rate increase will only satisfy the secondary water bonds. It doesn't help him at all in any fix or any update. It's just going to satisfy that. So he does have some concerns there. One thing when we were in St. George really quick, I remember the very first speaker says they advised us to pay our bonds off early and then learn to pay as we go. Financial debt is not a positive, it's a negative for our budgets. And that's kind of resonates with me since I sat in that meeting and listened to that. Listening to what's going on with another government entity that's raised their taxes really high. They don't get that. I hope we do. Carl would like a rate study done, and I do believe he's going to do one. They'll need to, if we go ahead with the rate increase, one of his concerns is that it will impede anything that comes out of the recommendations from the rate increase. If we move this rate increase forward right now, where it's only going to help pay for the water bonds, he is concerned that he will be locked in and we won't get any more money to help with stuff that needs to be done. Let's see.
I thought he was gonna come up with a proposal. How come we haven't seen a proposal?
Well,
Okay, wait, let me, hang on to your shorts a minute there.
Well, I'm just saying, you're throwing darts, and I thought he was gonna come up with something.
He's just worried that now that we do this increase, when we come back at another increase, you guys are gonna be like, nah, we already did one, we don't wanna do another one.
That's where his
concern.
That's where his concern is. He wants, okay, the impact fees have not been updated since 2013. So.
Which impact fees?
For Public Works, for your water, your treatment plant, all that stuff down there. Okay, so he asked someone to do it in November and he has yet to get anything back from them. So what he's thinking he's going to do is he's going to do a request for a proposal and just go out and have it done. And he wants it that way because he wants whoever's going to do this to understand that only way you're going to get the right information is if they have meetings with him. They can't just take the information and just go into their little office somewhere in some other town and not know what's going on here. So he wants bi-weekly meetings and he's going to be setting some guidelines.
I mean, isn't that required to have a study done to even raise them?
Yes, and that's what he's been working on, but the person that they asked to do it, they're not getting the information that they need. They just we don't know why, but it's not coming through. Okay,
But at least this empowers Carl to do something about it and get the.
and he is. Okay, so Christine, the other group, what are they? Planning and zoning, that's where they are. They're not gonna come to the meetings unless they have something on the agenda. It's really a waste of their time. And they are working really hard to bring things back in line to where they should have been. They're putting, and a lot of stuff is going on that people are unaware of. And I'll be honest with you, I've just told them, I don't wanna know all of it. So they're working extra hard. In planning commission this last week, I felt like, and so did they were not treated well. And neither was I, by a couple of the members. There is
I'm here, I'm being a pain in the butt again. But
Go ahead.
I thought you can go to planning commission.
No,
That was
that was said, but now I'm going again. So yes.
since we went to the meetings down in St. George, and we come to find out that it's more of a standard to have them attend. And so we're gonna go ahead and do that.
You don't say anything unless you're asked or unless you have to put anything out there, but you just listen.
Was there something specific that happened that?
Yes, but we can talk about that in closed session, not in this session. It was comments that were made by a couple of people. Okay, so they tried to do a pause on growth and it didn't go over well, because of obvious reasons.
Sure.
Okay, so they have slowed things down, but by slowing down, they're making sure all the T's are crossed. They're making sure fees are paid, which they've been missing some fees in the past that have not been paid. So now Christine is going back and trying to dig through the dirt. And I do believe Jamie may be doing some of that too. I'm not sure.
Michelle is too.
Is Michelle doing it too? Okay. And so part of the problem in talking with Carl and Andrew is impact fees not being paid. Whether they were traded or whether that's a chunk of change. What
Sure.
the amount Carl told me around, that's a chunk of change. And so that is a concern for them. If we had that money, we would be where we're at. It'd still be hurting, but not this bad.
Is it an amount that we can talk about in open session? Just out of
Yeah, I
curiosity.
don't know what it is, so I've not heard.
The number he threw out to me was 3 million. It's not a 5-cent deal. So
Michelle checks that before any building permits were issued. So I don't know that we're missing out on impact fees. We were missing out on maybe fees in lieu and those sorts of things.
he just told me.
I don't know that for
impact
sure,
fees.
but I know that Jamie and Michelle, every time a building permit before it was issued, they would double check everything to make sure the numbers were right. And
How does?
Well, I think they're doing that now. I think they're doing a lot of that now. I think a lot of it wasn't the ladies in the office. It just wasn't assessed, is what I'm understanding, by a previous employee. So they're doing a lot on the background that nobody knows about, and it looks like they're not doing anything. So they did put 3 developments, they did hold them off because they're making sure everything is done right and everything is buttoned down the right way. And that caused a little bit of tension in planning commission. But other than that, we're good. Everything else is great. Oh, I know that Shari is not here. The thing at the park the other day, the library summer kickoff, parents are raving about that. Absolutely raving. They think it's.
I think Blair and I had the biggest impact on that going on.
Well, I had to take over both stop cutting them hot dogs.
Yeah.
We kind of lost Bo there for a while. But
I kicked him out.
oh, you kicked him out. Oh, okay, we didn't lose him then. The parents loved it. One thing they did say that they really enjoyed, and that was the interaction with the police officers. They said their kids said, oh, they're not so scary after all.
Yeah.
So it's a positive when we get that. And then actually, pillar 1, check. We did a great job. The library did a great job. So I'm done.
And if I can interject at this point, I know Carl sent out an email today with a lot of that proposal that you had talked about. So when you get time, he asked that all of you read through that in fine detail so you can understand where he's coming from. Brent?
Recovering from DC, it was a really great event. It was nicer to get it done and behind us. Thanks to the mayor and Zach for coming out to the candlelight vigil, seeing how massive it is. And if we wouldn't have had the weather, it would have been 3 times as big. In fact, it was really miraculous. When we got there and seated, it was raining, and it was coming down pretty good. As soon as it started, the rain stopped, and the pastor of the gate, the prayer, you could see the really dark, thick cloud building and coming, and he was just like, wait for the last name, and the last name was called, and it came down. Like everything that should have been falling during that, hour and a half, and typically it's about a 2.5 hour ceremony, and it's like it all came at once. And so by the time we got back to the hotel, everybody was waterlogged and everything, but it was really great, great event. I want to especially thank publicly Brigham City's chief for allowing coverage. I believe that we only needed them on 2 shifts, if I understand. Is that right?
Yeah, Perry helped out as well.
And Perry.
Yeah.
Brigham City and Perry helped out. The officers that stayed behind went to they ground themselves into the ground, and they covered most of that. So just a public thank you on that. I think everything. Well, I'm gonna take this time to thank the rest of the council and the directors, the department heads, for the work that you put in, for helping me learn my role and my lane. And I know I can get easily distracted and jump into somebody else's lane and stuff like that. And so for that, I apologize. It's still a work in progress. I think part of it comes from my prior experience and having seen cities do it completely wrong, and just in the hopes that we avoid getting into that is kind of where my heart and mind is on it. I 100% trust the department heads that we have. Everybody's seated here at this table. I thoroughly enjoyed working with you guys, even for the non-fun stuff that we have to do and work through. And so with that, my stand, it's just going to be the same. It's rinse, wash, rinse, repeat. The department needs more funding, and hopefully we can get that figured out. I think the getting to that point to go along with Bo, I think by the time the next budget session rolls around, I think we are in a much better place to get all the departments where we need to be. And so I think patience on that time, and there are some things that we can do in the meantime to shore that up that don't hit the budgets. But we got some really good people in the important spots, and do my best to stay in my lane and find myself.
Well said.
So then she doesn't have to kick me under the desk. Just kidding, she's never kicked me.
Throw me under the bus, will ya?
Just a little nudge here and there.
Thank you.
I haven't dealt with Jeff, but I see he's on here. Jeff's got something, he looks like he got several things on the agenda, so Anything else you wanna add to what's going on over there with the fire department?
No, I mean, do you want me to come down and talk about stuff? or-
No, we'll bring you up with it
I just,
right after this.
nothing out of order in what you got to bring up, so I don't have anything either.
No, just we've got, it's on the agenda for 7 o'clock. We have a 5-year award tonight, and that's about it. So.
We do need to figure out, and if I need to work, I can work on it, selling them 2 ambulances.
That's.
And I can call some people if I'm not stepping on anybody's toes.
I've had a few question about it being donated, and I did want to ask, that was part of my
Okay.
thought here today, so.
Great. Anything else? Great, then, I've asked Cynthia to read in both city council, and then I've asked the planning commission to read this to our commissions. This is a personal devices memorandum that I'd like read. So if you wouldn't mind, go ahead and reading that for us now.
We're sharing this as a friendly reminder of what Utah law already asks of all of us when we serve on a public body. Nothing here is new and nothing here is aimed at any one person. We just want to make sure we're all on the same page. When we're sitting on the dais, either council or commission, our phones, tablets, and laptops are fine for looking at the agenda packet, city code, a map, or a fact that helps us do the work in front of us. What they can't be used for is anything that moves the meeting off the record. Under Utah's Open and Public Meetings Act, all deliberation among members of a public body has to happen out loud in the open where both the public and the recording can hear it. That means during a meeting, we don't text, message, or email another member of the same body about anything on the agenda or anything that could come before us. Use group chats, Zoom chats, or any side channel among members. Communicate with outside parties, applicants, developers, family with an interest, anyone about how we're going to vote or what's being said. Under Utah's GRAMA, Governmental Records Access and Management Act, anything we type or text on any device, city issued or personal, about city business is a public record. That includes text to staff, notes typed on a phone, and messages we might later delete. Deletions do not erase the record and can make things worse. What we can do is look up packet materials, codes, maps, or facts relevant to what's being discussed, brief personal communication that has nothing to do with city business, and taking notes. What we're asking of each other is that we hold ourselves and each other to the standard the law already sets. If a question comes up about whether something is okay, the right move is to ask Dalton. That's what he's here for. We appreciate the work each of you does for Tremont and the care in getting this right. Mayor Roby and Dalton Smewen, our city attorney.
So I thought that's good information, yeah.
Yeah, that does help. Does that also include, like, if something's being presented and it's outside my wheelhouse and I lean over to one of these two and ask a clarifying question, or like, what does that mean?
We get that.
Like, is that better, like,
I think
my
it almost
ignorance in front of everybody, or?
I think it'd be better to ask in front of everybody.
Okay.
Because everyone, if you have that clarifying question, others may as well. And so I would encourage you to just ask it out loud so everyone can hear.
Okay.
The use case that I've been guilty of in the past that might conflict with that is, like, for example, I knew I was going to ask Chief Cordova a question. So I texted him saying, hey, I'm going to be asking this question to you. Give him a few minutes to prepare that. So
yeah.
I'll have to stop doing that, I think.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, but
meeting,
just to be clear, that is a use case where I've been guilty of that.
Okay.
But more in good intention of giving them a minute to prepare.
I think there's a difference between that and
Yeah.
texting family or friends or somebody outside the
I just,
general public
said
building.
with previous guys, none have been here that the thing went off, I just think
It's a
I
distraction.
shouldn't answer any text, sitting up there myself. Who knows what?
Do I gotta stop playing like solitaire?
Yeah, yeah.
Probably.
We just have to stop playing Wordle.
I had a text that said, act like you're enthused. I had-
Yeah, I've got those before. Wake up.
Wake up.
So, yeah.
was sending those to you.
Yeah.
So anyway,
It was, they were watching on the TV.
So thank you. I just wanted everyone to understand that. We wanted to be very
Or
compliant.
Jeff Seedall's hockey score updates.
Yeah.
Text me the hockey score,
Okay,
but I requested it.
Chief, it's your turn.
Hey, how are you?
Good to see you. I know I felt invisible.
It's all right. My bad. So, to go back to Blair's question, because that's kind of one of the things I want to talk about. The 2 ambulances sitting outside, we've had some interest from Hiram City of getting a donation of an ambulance, to them. And I've had other cities call and say, hey, we're interested, we heard you have some ambulances for sale, what are you looking at as far as cost? So I let them know the issues that they have. One has an air compressor issue, which is a minor fix, but the gist of it is they're old, and they're not gonna really generate more than, I would say, $8,000. Just asking some of the sales reps that I've been working with on the new ambulances, they're like, yeah, they're not gonna turn you over a ton of money, but I mean, something's better than nothing. So my question to the council is, would we like to donate one of them, both of them? Do we want to just sell both of them? What's the direction that you would like to take? I'm torn on the issue personally. That's why I'm asking your opinion.
I think, well, I'll take it because I brought it up on one of the small cities, and asked about if it was something that we could just donate, and realizing how tight funds are for us and a city so much smaller than we are, and that if we're in a position, I mean, I know $8,000 could be allocated elsewhere, and it may not directly benefit us, but man, if we could help a struggling city, get by until they could get something, I favor the donation. Now, if it was somebody like Salt Lake City that, they bleed money out everywhere, I would say definitely not. But in this case, I would be supportive of, pick of the litter on it.
And I would agree. I think a donation would be nice, because they are going to have to put some money into them to make them operational and benefit their city. And so that's why I'm like, I don't know how much I really want to sell them for.
Are they gonna make them ambulances or something else?
And I don't know for the city you're talking about, Jax, I don't know.
Was it Hiram?
It was hard.
And they want to use it as a transfer ambulance, what they're using it for.
I think it was an ambulance, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't
I
know.
think, I'm pretty sure it's an ambulance. I think the one that they have is like
Hiram,
predates anything that,
Yeah, they're definitely going to use it for 911 calls.
Yeah.
They're going to use it for, yeah.
would definitely be a response.
Does anybody know what we got out of that last one that you guys had, PD had for a while?
Sure.
Dustin still here?
I don't remember, how much, it was more than we expected.
I thought it was,
I felt like it was 13,000.
yeah,
No, it wasn't bad. There's like a whole,
and these are quite a bit better than that one.
yeah, they're turning them into homes.
And that's like,
the
I was gonna
new
say,
thing. So they sell pretty good.
you could auction them off for that. and then
The
people
big
be like,
one that needs the air compressor would make a heck of a service.
Yeah.
That's the one that needs the air compressor is probably in better condition. It really is. But I can try to sell them. That's what I said. I really want some feedback, because I'm really torn on it. I wouldn't mind a neighboring agency that's much bigger did just offer up an ambulance as a donation. And I saw that and I was like, well, I thought about it for a second, but I'm like, no, we're wanting to get newer equipment because we're putting money into maintenance on these things. So
And then on the other one, and Chief, I'm gonna put, I really meant to bring this up to you earlier when we chatted, is with the direction of that major investigations co-op, would something like that, formatted for something like that, be of any value to that endeavor? And if not,
Yeah, I don't think so. The only practical use I can come up with is like for a forensic unit, but it would make more sense based on our need to just contract case by case with like Weaver.
Okay.
So I don't think
That
so.
was my only question on the other one, so.
Yeah.
Sorry for the both, it wasn't until now that I realized there was something I was forgetting to talk to you
We used
about.
to donate them all for like $1. But then, I mean, but when they were $13,000, you have two of them, that's half your new pickup.
Yeah, you're
You know
absolutely
what I
right.
mean? So I'm not opposed to go, but
What if we tried to sell them and if we can't, or if the value on one of them keeps dropping, then we just.
yeah,
So
I mean,
far,
I'm just one guy. I don't know. I'm just thinking,
So I asked the Horton and Siddons Martin about selling it for us. And they were like, yeah, you don't want us to sell it because we're gonna charge you an enormous amount. You basically won't make any money. So, okay, well, that's one option. The other option is we put it online. There's different websites we can put it on and try to sell it that way. Facebook is another good option. If you're okay with me doing that. I didn't know what the rules were. That's why I'm here asking about it. If you're cool with doing that, we can put it on
I
Facebook.
think we just have to strip all the
Emergency.
emergency stuff
Or
off.
do
And,
that, yeah. If we're gonna sell it as like a camper.
yeah, and so.
I mean, I don't really know
I
if you
think
have to
it's
do
gonna
that.
be
They just have to
non-governmental.
do it to do what they gotta do with it, right?
We've usually done like junk deals or something like that, it's an auction.
Yeah,
Auction.
I
Yeah,
just,
We can
surplus.
use one of those too.
I mean, I just think there's some money there, but I don't,
Maybe we set like a ceiling, and if we don't get anything over $5,000, then we donate it.
Okay.
Anything over that, then we
I just know sitting out there for the summer, they're gonna fall apart.
Yeah, they are.
Plus,
I
it
agree.
doesn't look good.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
Maybe don't
agree.
put them up on cinder blocks.
well, we'd probably be better off if we're gonna sell them to take them down, see if Carl's got room down there in the corner to,
I already asked, and he said he doesn't, because he's got products in there. That was my first thought, was to put them there, and I tried, but. Sorry,
So should we give it a time frame?
that was kind of my thought.
I mean, if it's not selling within a certain time frame, but don't ask me what the time frame is, because I'm all for getting money to help the city out. But if it's just gonna sit there and,
They've been
Turn
out
to a
there for
rust
a couple
bucket.
months, one's been there a little bit longer, but the
Yeah.
last one's been there for.
the other one.
well, and so let me just throw this out. Let's say if they haven't sold by August 1st and they don't go for more than $5,000, then donate them.
Yeah.
Does that sound good?
I think them guys will probably just want the one.
Okay.
Wouldn't they? That,
Firearm?
I would imagine.
Yeah,
that 350.
yeah,
that
they were
sounds
probably
good.
on that one. So,
Okay.
I like that, August, we set that as our.
August 1st.
But we need to get it on the site, because who knows? Some people wreck them somewhere else and need something until they can find something. Well, that's-
that's true.
That's a
There's
good
things that are
idea. I
looking-
can talk to the Diesel Brothers and see if they want it just to destroy it. Run it
No,
over
but
the
I
box
mean-
truck
They
or
may
something.
turn it into like.
Somebody like
Yeah.
Leighton wrecked that one and they were looking for one and they were hard to get, so they just bought one that get by, you know?
Okay.
Okay, I'll try to put it up on the website here within the week and see if we can get it going, so, perfect. So with that, Blair kind of has a little bit more insight to this than the rest of you. Previously, we were on a replacement schedule. It was every, 2 years, we were buying a new ambulance. And somewhere along the way, we got off that schedule. In the past couple of years, actually more than a couple of years, 4 years.
It was that, it took so long to get
To
that
get
work.
that one, it's been like 4 years, and so we finally got our new ambulance, that we just recently got in-house. And we waited a good 4 years for that. We're still behind on ambulances. We still have two that we're using currently in there, sorry, 3 that we're using currently with our new one. So we have 4 in service. 3 of them are old. They're coming up on 10 years. And so we need to replace those. And so we actually have Siddons Martin is a new company. We're not working with Horton on this next one that we've got going. It's already, I'm gonna say built. The plans are in place to build it. We're just waiting to sign paperwork and move forward. If we do that, which would be tomorrow, we'll have a meeting with Siddons Martin. The delivery date would be April of next year. so April 27th. So the turnaround time is substantially better than it was in the past. They hid behind COVID for 4 years on this last one, so we're beyond that point. We'll get it within a year from tomorrow if we sign the paperwork. And we'll lock in the price at $385,000. So my question to you is, do we want to do that, put that onto our fiscal budget? I've talked with Jamie and we're looking good to be able to pay for the ambulance outright. Some of the benefits obviously are going to be uniform fleet. We're changing the color to red. I know most of you have seen it driving around and matches the color of the fire truck. If you haven't, come over and check it out. And then less maintenance is the other thing. By getting newer fleet, we have less money going into maintenance on them. Less downtime, and then our higher resale value, we have newer equipment. And so with that, we have a few options. Do we pay for it outright? Which Jamie and I have looked at, and we potentially could do that. Or do we lease it? So some of the options I can share with you real quick. If we're doing a 3-year lease, and it's just one leasing company, Republic First National, it would be at a 4.73% interest. It would be $737,000 over a 3-year period. If we did every 5, it'd be $86,000 for a 5-year lease. So if we did those, I mean, you're looking at still 10 years before you replace an ambulance over 5 years.
You can't go 5 years.
And that's,
And you don't want to be paying for 2 at the same time,
and that's exactly what I'm thinking. So,
in my opinion.
What's the lifespan
on an ambulance,
Yeah.
we stretched it with 10 years.
Let's say you're not doing transfers. Like,
If you're not doing transfers,
wasn't doing transfers, that was just,
they would be in much better condition than they are now. They would be in a way better condition. That's another option that we could look into, is we could try to buy an ambulance, what we call a Sprinter van style ambulance, for a fraction of the cost of these. Just for transfers, because trying to fit EMS staff in there with a patient, anything more than one patient and one EMS personnel is going to be a nightmare because they're smaller. But they're better on fuel, and the fuel economy is way better. Their cost is, like I said, a fraction of the cost. You're looking at a out the door, ready to go, drive it off the lot, $125,000, $130,000 versus $300,000 to $400,000. If we were to go that route, again, that's not something we want to use for anything more than transfers. If we can avoid it. It's just not.
So with something like that, would you have the medical equipment necessary for these transfers? Or are you talking just,
Yeah, we
a
would
certain
just take it
style?
from an existing ambulance. So the ambulances that we have outside, they've been stripped. All the equipment, including the stretchers, taken out. And so only thing they have left that resembles an ambulance is the box and the lights. That's
Okay.
it, and the sirens. And so all the medical equipment we've taken out and put it into the new ambulance. We rotate it. So that's kind of its own topic for another day, because medical equipment is its own expense. And it's part of it, but good thinking, but it's not the real meat and potatoes of the ambulance.
but if you had like a sprinter van, like a dedicated transport one, it would
Yes.
extend the life and the maintenance
And the maintenance of it.
of the more expensive ones.
Yes,
So it would actually be saving a lot of money in the long
in the
run.
long run, yeah. I mean, $130,000, you could buy 3 Springer ambulances and do transfers out of those versus one bigger box.
And I think the other thing we can look into is impact fees. We can purchase those ambulances if we can guarantee they last longer than 10 years.
Yeah.
And so now, unless they cut that in legislation this last time. So anyway, that's something to think about as well.
The correlated study that it's for the growth, right? To support
Yeah.
growth.
So, and correct me if I'm wrong, Jamie, on this, but my idea of leasing, like I said, it's gonna help us get to where we need to be replacing our vehicles. It's not, it's gonna be an recurring cost. We'll have the same cost every year, right? We're not trying to come up with 400,000 this year and then 3-4 years from now, trying to come up with another 450,000, because the cost of the ambulance, the cost of steel, all the products continues to go up. And so,
Stops the April surprise.
yeah,
We-
exactly. It stops the
We
surprise.
had it in the budget before that we were saving, what was it, 114, now it was like 160 a year out of the capital for just ambulance.
Mhm.
But somehow
It's
that
just
was
gone. I don't know
we
where it
lost
went.
it
Yeah,
twice.
2 times.
and that's
So,
kind of what I wanted. That's exactly what, not kind of, that's exactly what I want. I want to get back to that, whether we're leasing or we're just saving it, putting it aside, that's up to you guys. But I'm trying to lay out the options for you and let you know, trying to get ahead of the problem. Because 2 out of those, 3 out of the 4 ambulances that we have, they're gonna start having issues. And then we're gonna be having problems taking transfer, medical calls.
Is the Sprinter van, and maybe the wrong approach, but would the Sprinter transport van, would that be available on a lease? Or
Yes.
is that better to do outright?
I'm sure you could lease anything if you
Yeah.
wanted to. I mean, we could lease vehicles, we could lease fire trucks if we wanted to.
But if we did that, then we couldn't use the impact fees for leases, right?
No, not for those,
No, no.
because they would be less. Oh, yeah, you're right, for at least now.
Okay, that makes sense.
So how
I
much was
think
the
we only
lease
want to
payment
do
a
one
year?
at a time.
Depending on how.
Oh, sorry, you both said.
Go ahead.
I just think we want to pay for one at a time, so we gotta get the schedule that says if we're gonna buy it, we can lease it for 3 years, then we don't order another one till we're due.
Well,
And 3 years goes by pretty fast.
and that will help us avoid, if we did, let's say we do a 3-year lease, that would help avoid the problem we just had with this Horton ambulance, where we waited 4 years to get it, because we're ordering the ambulance and we're getting the same cookie cutter product, if you would, every 3 years. They know it's already on the schedule, once we sign the lease, that we've got one ambulance today, and in 3 years from now, they're gonna start producing, or 2.5 years from now, they'll start production of our next ambulance, because we're on that lease schedule. Does that make sense?
So do they take that one back, or do we keep that and a new one comes?
You'll keep it, you can do it a couple.
It's kind of a lease purchase.
Okay.
Yeah, you can do lease purchase, or you can do the lease where they own it and they take it back.
I like-
We bought them every 3 years forever and never had any problems. But we got that Horton going 4 years with COVID, just
Yeah, and that's
messed it
everything.
all up. It was all,
I like that idea if we can keep the money.
I don't think you want to pay interest.
Well,
We
it's,
could-
are we allowed to accrue interest on money we have in the bank?
Yeah, I think-
So I mean, if we could put that money and set it in an interest bearing account,
And just-
and when it comes. due,
So when it's due, then
Then you have it.
Jamie just said, there's the thing, and you just write a check. And that's what we did before. But we never, that's before we had wages, so we bought everything.
I love the idea of the Sprinter vans. I think that makes a lot of sense for transfers. It just,
I would just try one and see,
It helps get us
Yeah.
to where we need to be.
see how it works.
As far as ambulances go, and it helps to kind of defer the cost of such an expensive thing and then move, so we can have an extra ambulance to be able to do the transfers and then give us time to work.
When the Sprinter vans could be on their own cycle, with the other 3 on their cycle.
Yeah.
And I would say, you're probably thinking the same thing I'm thinking. I hate to put you on the spot, but what are your thoughts, Jamie?
Yeah.
I was just gonna ask Jamie. She's the money person. Tell us what you're thinking.
Well, I have it in the proposed budget right now just to buy one outright, but this is the first time I heard about this Sprinter van.
Yeah.
So, and I like that idea as well.
Think I've been
Yeah.
Trying to trying to think of ways to get to the end goal.
If we're in dire need of an ambulance, my preference would be, just because of getting in and understanding everything, where's everything's at, my preference would be to buy this next one, with the anticipation of rolling it over in 3 years, and then come back and talk about a Sprinter van.
Yeah.
I but I don't know how that.
I think that would be the most
I
appropriate
agree.
thing to do.
Yep.
That will put us back where we need to be with, on the schedule with ordering our ambulances.
But just for me, and I probably won't be here in 5 years or whatever, but it's just gotta be the same. It can't be, because this took so long.
Mhm.
I mean, if it took 4 years, then it almost resets it, because you just start over. So they gotta have them.
So I'm gonna say this now because you'll hear me say it over and over again. So I've been like diving into the weeds, right? Trying to figure everything out. I want to come back with a capital project, capital equipment program coming back. We just can't have it in 2 weeks.
Yes.
I'll have some of it. There's gonna be some programs because I can't stop.
We had that in there, the
Yeah.
ambulance, because the amps, we know we're gonna buy them. The engines can go 10 years and depending on what use, but
I need to go back and look at what the history is, and then know what we have even in inventory. And then get with chief and bring that program forward. So,
yeah, I think.
And not just with ambulances, right? With all
no,
our
it's the
assets.
whole, yeah, it's the whole city, yeah. So there's a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
And then just another thing to make you aware, I'm not keen on him signing paperwork tomorrow.
We-
Um,
Don't we have to legally bid it?
well,
We already did
the
the
single
bidding
source.
process. So we had Horton, Simmons Martin, and then, I think it was North Star was the other one.
What about Will Coach? Because when I called Will Coach, they had them. In
I think they were.
Kalispell
they were
just
the
bought
highest.
3 of them.
When they were, I think,
had
when they did the bidding, they were the highest.
Oh.
And so.
Well, if they bid it, but I think
Yes.
it's legally you have to, these guys will come in unless you piggyback off something.
No, Simmons Martin came in at the lowest. That's why we switched from Horton to Simmons Martin. So.
My concern is the budget. And so you will see that there's a $400,000 line item in the amendment for fiscal year 26 as we end this. But it's because if we sign the document now, we're on the hook for that purchase order, right? They could deliver us the equipment the next day, and then we would have to take it. And so that's why we have to have it on the budget. And then you'll see it again in next year's budget, and it's just a timing issue. It's not that we're going to buy 2. So I just want to make sure that you'll see that and clarify that.
I just push back till you got
Well,
where you want it to be.
it's a money issue where if we're kind of being pressured, right?
And
That
I,
if we don't sign the document, that the price could go up July 1.
and I think part of
I
that.
know, and
part of
so that, if you're
contract-
not comfortable with that, that's fine, we can take it out of the budget, but.
And I'm pretty sure part of that contract is that their delivery date, we're signing that their delivery date is what they say it is. It won't
Sure.
come before that, it'll come after that.
Right, but by law with the state auditor's office, because we're actually signing a purchase order, we're signing it, it has to be
This right here.
And that's what I'm protecting, is protecting
I mean,
the city on that.
they're trying to hit a sales goal.
Oh, sure, I get it, I get the
I would,
pressure on
that's-
that,
I just
but
call it bluff
Yeah.
and wait till
If you
we,
guys want.
my opinion, I'll bet there can't be much and it's,
Worst case, what are we looking at? Increase, what, like a 3%, like it
Yeah.
historically been?
Or just tell them we'll put it out for bid again.
yeah.
Mhm.
That'll keep them honest.
That's it. Just,
But I agree with you. We haven't done the budget. You're on the hook for it. We're only 2 weeks away
I
from.
said it's a month, less than a month away.
Yeah.
especially if you just communicate to them
Yeah.
the reason,
We're right-
and we'll
waiting
sign
to-
July 1st.
Yeah,
Like,
we can wait.
We're waiting to do that after, but not right now.
And it might push back the delivery date, but I mean, it's.
But your other one, you've only had in service.
Months.
Yeah, so I think the hard part's gonna make sure it's the 3 year. I mean, you really,
Yeah.
ideally, you want a 2026 and then a 2029.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, if we agree that it's 3 years, which I think is great, then that's what I'm gonna stick to. I mean, as long as I'm in the position of chief, that's what I want to do, because I think it's important we have
I think if
good
you-
functioning equipment.
I think if you roll in those transfer bans, I think that sounds very.
Yeah, the transfer bans would save you. the first out stuff, so, but they'll just have to go get in the transfer van.
And there'll be occasions where there's a second transfer, we have to take a regular ambulance, and we'll do that. I mean, it's also good for the vehicle to be able to run on, rather than just going quick, a mile or two down the road, to be able to get on the freeway and drive.
And if Bo needs to get down to St. George quick.
Yeah.
I know, Leighton bought them Sprinter vans.
They did, yeah.
But where I'm at is, if you two like it, then I like it.
Yeah. I'm totally fine waiting until July to sign it. Like I said, my
Yeah, I
biggest
did it
worry is
already,
getting
yes.
it, like you said, getting it in the budget and being able to say, yeah, we're gonna get another ambulance to replace the older one. So,
Does this 400 come from the general fund, or does this come from the fire budget?
So it's in the fire budget. There is a transfer to the fire budget this year
From the general
from the
fund,
general fund.
for that 400,000?
So just leave it in July 1, is that what I'm hearing? So take it out of 26,
Mhm.
put it in 27.
Because it'll be April anyway, so, right?
Yeah, we buy it.
For next year's budget.
Yeah.
But as long as there are checks in the checkbook, we have money. I just wanted to see your face. Actually, I should have been watching.
You should have been watching Jamie's face and not mine. She wanted to throw the book
You're
at
gonna
me.
have sore shins by the end.
I know, that's why I'm protecting.
Look, I'll come over here by Lindsay. She's fine.
And then just to kind of jump into it, do you want to jump into this next piece already? Okay. So we're good with that, July, we'll say that, okay. And then, so the next part of that was increased staffing. What I'm proposing is that, I don't know if you guys can, but what I'm proposing is that we add one part-time staff member. So we have currently 3 full-time and 1 part-time staff. And I should have wrote it down. I want to say it's 68 part-time shifts, which would be 12-hour shifts, equals out to about 34, 35, 24-hour shifts that were not filled by part-time staff, and it various reasons, right? Sick people call out sick. We had 4, now we're down to 3. But when that happens, the biggest issue is when we're down to 3, we can only send 1 ambulance out. We can't send another ambulance. And we're waiting for people to come back to the station, and we're having less and less people coming back for callbacks. So my proposal is that we add a second part-timer, so that would bring us from 4 on staff to 5. We would have a buffer staff member in there basically to account for sick leave and things like that. Ideally, if we're staffed fully at 5, we have 2 part-timers and 3 full-timers, then we can send out an ambulance on the transfer. We still have an ambulance in town, or a full engine crew, if you will, to respond to whatever incident we have at the time. Once the first ambulance is out of town on the transfer, or they're assigned to a medical call, then we have 3 people still in town to handle the next 911 call or transfer. Then that would leave 1 person, ideally that would be the captain at the station, to now send out the call back. Hopefully we would get someone in for the call back. If not, we still have someone there that can at least man the station and be able to say, okay, we need to pen that next transfer or whatever call it is, or call for help, things like that. So that I'm proposing that we add a second part-timer. And I believe we set up,
It was about, I think it was about 50, yeah, about 52.
Yeah.
If they show up for every shift
yeah.
52 just
with benefits, or with, yeah. 52
times 4 shifts, or just 1?
Just for adding 1 person. So you have to think about it this way, 365 days a year, for 24 hours a day, you're adding 1 person.
50 grand.
Do you have it in the budget, or is this something we have to come up with?
So because he was shorthanded this year, the salary line wasn't expended, and so there would be funds that would roll over in the fire fund to be able to use for next year.
Now, I think, and I'm not positive on this, but I think this could help reduce overtime as well.
It could, yes.
And
And that's what I'm saying, if we have an extra person, someone
Yeah.
calls out sick, now you have 4, you can still.
Yeah, and
Your minimum staffing will be full.
Yes, minimum staff would be 4.
So then, there's some savings from overtime as well that could be applied to this as well.
Absolutely. In theory, in the perfect
In
world.
theory, right. Yeah, and I guess we just ask you to try to manage it that way, to see if you could do that.
Yes, absolutely.
And, in the following year, it does mean that we have increased staff and operational budget that's increased.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, year after year.
Right.
Right.
It's not, so we do have the savings this year that are rolling.
Yes.
We're gonna need to account for higher.
But we're also anticipating that, is it Gold Cross? That's what
Yes.
Gold Cross is doing a better job at collecting
Good.
revenue.
Cool.
So that's a
Which is a
positive,
perfect,
yes.
perfect segue into my next topic, which is I would like to propose we start billing for fire services. What I mean by that is, for example, we go in a traffic accident. This is something that we were doing, correct me if I'm wrong, Blair, in the past. I know when I first started part-time, I remember going over on a traffic accident on the side of I-15 and going, can I see your insurance? My insurance card, what do you mean? And I'm like, your car insurance and your driver's license. And we inputted that information and we would bill for oil cleanup, extrication, things like that on the freeway. There's a company, Fire Recovery USA, that I'm proposing we work with. Basically, what they would do is right now, currently, we're not collecting on we're not asking for any payments or anything to collect on those type of calls, traffic accidents, what have you, right? That we're only collecting on EMS calls. This company would not charge us unless we went on a call, let's say a traffic accident. Then they would bill based off of these rates that you're seeing here. The average cost for the customer would be about, let's just go with $726. Currently, from January 1st until June 1st, we've missed, it was 38 calls we missed, and it would have been about $27,000 is what we would have been able to accrue from that we did not get. And so if we were to start doing this, we would be able to accrue that.
What percentage of cities do charge?
A lot.
A lot of them, yeah.
Every single city in Salt Lake Valley did.
In Salt Lake? What
They
about other rural?
There was some
cities like
legislature
ours?
that changed some rules. We gotta make sure of that.
So that's EMS, and that we are abiding by that. We're charging the flat rates that the state set, which also just went up. So July, those rates will increase. It's not a huge jump, but it's a little bit of a bump up.
Are we collecting dues from the county and Elwood?
We
Fire?
have not in the past, over the past 2
We did
years.
bill in 24.
Yes.
No, sorry, but it would have been the 25 year. I billed the county for both those years, the one we missed and this year, and was told by the fire marshal that those budgets are closed and he won't be paying me. So I explained to him, I can understand that for the 24 year, but 25 would have been due January of 26, which is your current budget. And I haven't heard anything back, so I don't know if we're gonna get that payment. Elwood, I've
How much
reached
was
out,
that?
$25,000.
It's $50 a rooftop type thing.
58 is what it's up to right now. Elwood, I've reached out and asked, because we have to know their dwelling units, so I have to know how many new permits they've had for the last years. I have not got a response, so I can't bill them until I know
They
how
have
many
to pay
houses
us.
to bill for.
I agree.
That's more than, I mean, not more than that, but that's legit.
Yeah.
But they-
And Elwood is charging their citizens $12 a month for fire.
Yep, they are.
And then they gotta pay it,
Yeah.
because that's illegal, the part, because they don't do the fire, we do.
We do, yeah. And so we're working on that as well. We're trying to go back and collect for previous years where we didn't bill, and I'm
How
working
did
on getting
that
it.
fall through, just, oh, change?
Oh. Because we went through 3 city managers.
Being
Elwood
a city
actually-
manager and a fire chief that wasn't doing
Elwood
anything.
actually called us and asked for the billing, and I explained to Bill that would be great to get that bill.
The county doesn't pay for any fire anywhere, so.
So, go ahead, I'm
One
working on
concern
it.
I have on this is, as I was looking at this, should the city bill residents or only insurance?
So that's the other thing. We have with these guys, they give us the option of, do we want to bill residents or not. And what we mean by that is, so they'll go for the insurance, let's say, we'll just throw Geico out there, because everyone knows Geico. So they go after Geico, Geico says, okay, that was a $200 bill, we're only gonna pay $100, you have to go after the citizen for the other 100. When they say that, we have the option of saying, okay, yes, we want to, or we don't want to. So we can opt out and say, we're not gonna bill our citizens, but if we're out on I-15 and you're passing through, you're gonna pay. They're gonna go after you. They're gonna do all the collections. It's all out external. It's nothing in-house. We don't have Michelle burdened with having to go to collections with these guys like they do with Gold Cross. She can just focus on the stuff with Gold Cross that they turn over to her, and these guys will focus on all the fire type calls.
So this is just for automobile.
This is just for automobile fire type calls. I mean, there's hazmat, there's
I've read the whole
structure
contract.
fires.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's wildland fires, for example. We go out all the time on these fires where it's arson and maybe it's an accident, but they started a fire and now it caught their field on fire now, and then it's caught their neighbor's field on fire. They're liable for that. And so this company will go after those fees.
So Gold Cross won't do fire stuff?
They do not. No, I've already asked them. I've tried to, we kind of figured this out through asking them and going to different companies.
So listen to this. This is gonna help your budget if we're going to start
Yes.
collecting where we haven't been.
Yes, correct.
It'll help fill in and maybe even pay for that part-time employee.
Yes.
I'm just saying.
Or
You-
It's money that we haven't been going for. We haven't tried to collect. So it's, the way I look at it is, yeah, they're gonna be taking 22% off the top
Mhm.
for doing all the legwork, right? But it's 78% that we've never been after. And so it's 100% of, it's a bonus for us, right?
Anything's better than nothing where we're
Exactly.
doing nothing.
Well, it's an increase in revenues.
And it's gonna help. It's gonna help. It'll help pay for the ambulance. It'll help pay for the staff member others. I mean, it's gonna help however we can use it, so.
I like it.
I think when I read the contract, the whole thing, 999 pages. It's okay. It was a good read.
I really didn't mean to call you guys and give you the Reader's Digest version. I tried to in my email.
It's
and,
okay.
I got swamped today.
No, it's fine. It was a good read. I'm on board. I just think if we're not collecting something that we should or could
Good, yeah, I agree.
to help, even with the cost of going out,
Yeah.
the equipment that you're wearing out.
Especially for the surrounding,
Exactly.
like Blair was talking about, but
My only heartache with it is, like, at some point, is it a double tax? People pay taxes.
Well, that's,
We give money to the government to provide emergency response.
well, but I think you look
And
at,
then to turn around and charge another fee.
and that's why.
but the insurance
But I
companies
get,
are,
yeah.
I mean,
So
we're paying
that's
that to the insurance company.
the
They're supposed to
clarifier
be
that makes me
doing
feel
that.
comfortable with it, is the insurance
The
company is where.
And you're absolutely right. I thought the same thing. And that's why I also like the option of not billing our citizens. So if their insurance company
That's what I
says,
heard.
we're not gonna pay it, and it happened, and they're a citizen of Tremont, then we say, okay, well, fine, we won't pay it either. Or we're not gonna bill them either. But I think all these numbers on this fee schedule that they have here, these are based off of what the insurance company will actually pay. And so this company's been in business for a long time. They know what they're gonna be able to get, and they're just like Old Cross. They know what they can do.
I'd
So,
like us to keep track of what we're writing off,
yes,
just so that we know what we're.
Back in the day, we used to have ambulance bills, and the Tremont City residents got a different bill than anybody else.
and as far as I know, this would not be a write-off, because these are fees that we're trying to recoup costs of.
It's not right.
Speed drive or something like that, yeah. So,
And-
we don't bill them.
And then I'd like to really encourage us to set up with the county and Elwood now. Let's get that thing
Yes.
going so that,
That's my next.
We need to update our
okay, let's get that contract
I
up.
mean, that's more in your wheelhouse than,
Great,
they gotta pay that. I mean,
okay. Any other questions for Jeff or for Jamie?
I'm gonna play the dumbest guy in the room. Has there been any discussion about like regional type?
There has not.
Okay.
There was
Not
a
recently,
few
there
years
was
ago.
Years ago, yeah, before I came into the picture.
Yeah,
And maybe that's a hot topic.
And that would
we
have
don't-
to-
Well, I don't think
I'm
it's a
just
hot
curious.
topic,
I'm
but I
asking
think,
a question.
I think as we move, it just depends on where the county's headed in the future,
Yeah.
right? And if it's going to incorporate a whole bunch of other fire needs, we may need to start looking at a district fire.
I would agree, and it's something that we could, honestly, I'm just being frank with you, all like, we could want and like push for it, but if the county and surrounding agencies don't want to be a part of it, then it won't happen. The chief at Brigham and I, like, we both talked about it, it would benefit both of our cities if we were to look at something like that.
Okay.
But again, their city has to be on board, not just the fire chief. I mean, for us, it would help, I mean, Chief Cordova kind of mentioned this in the past with Perry and stuff, that it would definitely help us having the additional staff to deal with sick leave, call, all those types of things. So I mean.
But in our county, Brigham City and Tremont's already paid a crap load of money for equipment that the county has paid zero.
I agree with you.
So, and when they come in and say, okay, we want this, we got 5 engines, we want 2 of them, and they're gone, and we paid for them.
And
There
herein
could
lies
be-
the problem.
There
It's the
could be
sandbox.
potential
Right.
revenue sources that
Right.
are different than they have been in the past.
But yeah,
One
so
of the
it's not closed.
Then we just pay it.
I have one
I
question
said,
for
I
you.
wonder what the fairgrounds were.
I had some residents reach out to me, and it's just a concern they had. Why do we take the fire truck when the ambulance goes out? Why would it be more economical to take like an SUV?
I think
Or
I
something
did a
like
video
that.
on this one.
What's that?
I think I did a YouTube video on this one.
Well, I just had a lot of
But I'll
questions the
answer it
last
for
little
you.
while, and I went, hey, I'm not on the fire department, I don't have.
So, for example, we quite often go on lift assist, and I'm not, I hate to say it, but the elderly, right? They're fall down, can't get up. And so, it's honestly, it's a workers' comp thing, it's not totally workers' comp, but that's part of it, right? If we go out, we send 2 guys on an ambulance, and that person happens to be bigger than those 2 can handle, they want to throw their back out. So we send an engine company with them to help lift, and that's standard across the board, that's everywhere in America that happens. And so it's something that we're doing to look out for our staff as well as the citizens, to make sure we're not, we go to lift them up and then we drop them, now we crack their skull, and, because we're trying to lift them with people who shouldn't be lifted by
Well,
themselves.
if I can, so West Jordan tried this, probably 15 years ago now. And, the council at the time didn't want to see the engines going out on these medical cars, because of that. And so they put them in a smaller truck, almost like a brush.
We do
Brush
that,
truck.
we use a squad.
But then what happened was, the ambulance and it was in the westernmost, so there were 4 fire stations. It was in the westernmost fire station, in the station 55. While they were out on that, a fire broke out and they couldn't respond to the fire. They had to respond back, transferring to the engine. And by that time, the one house that was consumed had caught the neighboring house on fire, and they lost 3.5 houses, all because they had to, and they were actually on a medical the next neighborhood over. And so they scrapped doing that because they took a lot of heat for, and it wasn't on the fire department for that. It was, they were directed by the council to look at that. But it's, at the time, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it's so that, that happens, and then you were instantly able to go direct to a fire scene or something and not have that lap.
No, I get that, it was just the
Yeah.
residents asked, and I needed to
I
ask
sat
you.
in on the public safety liability session down at St. George, and it was our insurance company, the trust,
Uh-huh.
who showed us a couple videos, and it's a safety, like if you're out on the freeway with your ambulance, they have the fire truck in front of the ambulance, and somebody slides into your
They
fire
block,
truck,
yeah.
they block it from hitting your ambulance and your people.
No, I just
So that
thought,
was a
where people are
concern.
asking,
Yeah.
I needed to ask you,
No, please
because
do,
I had to
please.
be accountable to the public.
And like I said, I'm pretty sure I made a video on that one, but if I didn't, I can make a video, and I've been doing that. So if you guys have questions, citizens are asking questions,
I'll tell them, go look at the video.
yeah, no, but let me know, and I will make a video. I do.
I think Chrissy's question was a very good clarifying question, because yeah, why not take a little SUV, take some people over and carry it? What you said makes all the sense in the world.
Yeah, but
So
well,
that
what
really
Lindsay
Have
said,
that there.
For that
The
reason, you'll see the
safety
engine
reasons.
at Kent's, you'll see it where
Yeah.
we're having lunch, because they want to stay ready.
okay, that's, I just had to clarify
That's
for
the
some
answer we
residents.
need. Thank you.
So that's,
Sorry, it took a lot of time.
Okay,
it's all.
thank you. Great discussion.
Thanks.
Jamie, did you have anything else yet?
No, I just didn't know if I were on.
We're moving on to fee schedules. Yes, and so you can,
So
let's see. Oh, did we talk about your fee schedule yet?
this is part.
Okay, oh, you're still on.
And so this arose from looking at the charges for Spire. And I'm like, yeah, we need to be charging more. So we were charging $20 just for a residential small commercial building. Most of the departments are charging $50, $55. And then they're also charging for a re-inspection of $65. So after looking at neighboring departments, in our county, outside of the neighboring counties, that's where I came up with these numbers. They're also charging by the square foot. So from 1 to 20,000 square foot, it would be $100. And from $200 from 100 to 20,001 square feet, which is 50,000, $200. And then from 50,000 and more, it would be $300. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Okay, and so, and then for this is just a general fee. We used to not charge anything, and so now we would charge $25 for inspections for government buildings. I don't think we really have many government buildings here, but if we had a new government building come in, we would charge that for the inspection there. And then just our regular, our fees for apparatus. If we were to have someone come in and rent the fire truck to do a standby type event, that's what these are for. So for a rescue engine, it would be $85 an hour, and then for,
Yeah,
I'm
585.
sorry, yeah, $585 per hour, and so that's including the staff on the engine, right? And then the cost for an additional staff or just one staff member, who we're charging $25. This is one that I looked at and I'm like, wow, we're paying people more than $25 an hour. So we're losing money when we send someone out to a rodeo standby or whatever. So I looked at, okay, most people, what they're making, and then if they're on overtime, so that brought me to $72 an hour. Again, looking at what the fire recovery was charging, and that's what sparked the desire to change these. Thank you, Cynthia. There's some more. Yeah. So equipment personnel arrive on scene. So just to have them arrive, again, it's the same cost for the rescue engine. It would be $585. And so for an ambulance for standby, we're looking for it be 2. We were charging $110. And again, I looked at surrounding agencies, what they were charging, and I tried to kind of meet in the middle on that at $254 per hour for the ambulance. And this is separate. This is not an ambulance transfer, a 911 call, or a transfer from the hospital. This is like standby events. And so this would only be a fee that would be charged to that specific event or individual that was requesting the equipment. And an extra attendant, again, we were charging $40, which was better than $25, but we went to just flat across the board, $72. And again, same thing, $72 for a staff member. And then the off-road vehicle it was at 10 miles. And I looked at that and I'm like, man, a lot can happen in 10 miles going off-road with an ambulance. And so I'm thinking about wear and tear, the fuel alone. So for $1.50 per mile, you barely recuperate your cost for 10 miles. And so we thought about that. And at first I was wanting to change it to more than 1 mile, thinking most driveways are less than a mile. So if you're off-road, you're probably not going to a residence that's in town. We're probably out in an unincorporated area. So we looked at that. Cynthia and I forget what we found. I think it was in state law. It said 2 miles. And so that's in accordance with the state law 2 miles, so anything above 2 miles.
Say that state contract has
It does.
the off-road and all that.
Yeah, it does, and it was 2 miles, so anything above 2 miles, we could charge $1.50. And then this is for extrication equipment. Again, we were charging 100 for lights and equipment being out. This would be, we go up to 637. And then for heavy extrication, we were charging 150, and that went up to 726. And then for extra heavy, which would be I'm talking like struts and stuff, there's a collapse or something like that, we would be charging $886 for
As a
that.
flat fee, not ground.
That, I think if you go back to that one, that was a flat fee, yeah,
That's all, okay.
because it was per hour. So. And then this one's just a standby ambulance, be 135 for the ambulance itself, and then with 2 personnel. Oh wait, sorry.
Yeah, includes 2.
It includes 2 personnel, yeah. And so that would be for the first 2 hours. So if they only want us for 1 hour, we're gonna charge them for 2 versus, and so it behooves them to just go ahead and say, hey, we want you for 2 hours. Anything above that, we charge $135 per hour. And then for just the medical staff member, if they just wanted to have us sit at a booth, it would be $72 for the staff member per hour. And again, this is really for your, I'm trying to think, where is this? Did we pull this from state legislation as well, Cynthia? Yeah, this is straight out of state legislation. So we were at 21.16, and we upped that to 30, and then the 53 cents per copy for paperwork. So we were just, the whole schedule, we were just behind on a lot of fees, and we needed to up.
Is that included if they request a digital copy? Like if
I would
they
think it'd just
want
be
all
30
the
bucks.
PDF?
It'd just be flat rate of 30, and then if they wanted to print off paperwork, they'd be charged for the paper, the printing. So
That makes sense. Okay, thanks.
Just some places where we were just not recuperating costs. We were just basically giving the service and the equipment, the products for free. In this part, I felt like renting the fire station. The training room is now our kitchen and our living quarters, our we call our day room. It's our area where we relax. And so I don't think we should rent that anymore. Because our station's grown, we have living quarters downstairs, and then the day room hangout area is upstairs, where we have our families come, where we also have our trainings, things like that. So I just don't think it's appropriate to rent the fire station anymore. What are your thoughts? Good with that?
Yeah, we have the service center.
I think we have other places.
Okay.
Okay. Now, we're running short on time. Are we almost done?
I think so,
Well,
yeah.
that's his
This
section.
is it, yeah.
His section, we're really, we may have to table this then.
Several, no, let's not
Yes.
table it, we can discuss it in the city council.
Yeah, because we've got a lot
We got
more to
water
discuss
fees to
tonight.
talk about,
So that was my section, yeah, I'm done.
Parks and Rec.
building inspection, just updating
Sorry.
rates that haven't been updated in years.
Thank you.
Hopefully I
Totally
answered all
got rid
your
of the
questions.
temporary occupancy fee, and Kirk had a good example for me. That house as you're driving through Beaver Dam that has a door to nowhere,
Yep.
that's because they got a temporary occupancy
Huh?
permit.
Where?
In Beaver Dam, when you're driving to Logan,
I'll go
there's that
through
house up on the east hill.
Oh, yeah.
It's a
Oh.
two-story house that has a door
That
and
looks like
no
it's
deck or
missing a deck.
anything. You
Okay.
can
Yeah.
step out in the
Yeah.
middle of the
The reason they were
abyss.
able to move in and have a house with a door to nowhere was because of a temporary occupancy.
So they open the door and step out.
Yeah.
But doesn't that normally have to be changed?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, as quick as you finish it.
Yeah, and they've never
So
finished
it
it.
hasn't never been finished, so they've never got final.
But they got to go in with a temporary, so that would, if you don't have a temporary occupancy,
And
they
that-
would have had to finish that before they moved in.
That place is 10 or 12 years old. It's been there a long time.
Okay,
That was a thought to just get rid of temporary occupancy permits altogether. 'Cause I
That's a
don't think
big
we
step.
want them. Like you finish your house and then you can move in.
Oh,
That's the rules.
Yeah, I agree. I couldn't agree more.
Anyway, that
I'll
was most
scoot
of
through
it.
the,
Yeah.
if you want to
No,
talk about
you're
it real
good.
fast and tell
Is
us.
this just on
This is
residential? Or is there,
So in commercial, A good example is the website Sinclair store out here, right? It's going through a process to come back into service.
Yep.
Right? So we will help them get back into service as phases. But you can see the goal to the end.
Correct. Okay.
So as long as they're in the process, we're okay with that.
Okay. That's why I asked, because I've been in those situations in business when you're operating.
Yeah, and you're trying to get through the whole thing, and it's sometimes it's pretty difficult. So that's our goal, is to get them through that process.
This is Shelley's, just charging for using your bank fees.
Oh, yeah, we have been getting charged for this in the past, correct?
No, the other one did not.
Oh, did not charge, okay, but we're going with a Cassell Zift, thank you. But it's through Cassell, real-time payments. People who use their bank to pay will be charged $1 to use their bank, rather than 3% to use a card. So we're gonna pass that charge on to the person rather than the city.
Rental,
Zachary.
non-resident.
Yep. So, for Parks and Rec, we do have several fees that are low. We purposely kept them low in the past to encourage people to rent and reserve them. We've come to a point where they are being reserved, and sometimes people are fighting for those. So we doubled them from 5 to 10, but we also added a resident and non-resident fee within those, and that's for mostly our field rentals for ball diamonds. Go to the next one, Cynthia. Then we also did the same with our Boweries. We, instead of the $20, we went to 25 for residents and 40 for non-residents. In the past, basically it's been that for as long as you want. So now I've put an hour structure, so anything less than 4 hours is a half day, and anything more than 4 hours is a full day, which have different costs. Keep going down. Then I added a tournament. If a tournament wants to come to town, then we charge them a flat rate per field. That includes one prep. And we up the prep fee if somebody wants to host a local game, so at least pay for our costs. Okay. And then, go to the next one. Next one. Oh, we took some out. So the ones that we took out were stage rentals, and not allowing stage rentals in here, but it is under the community event permit. So we can now we can set rates on community events. So if they want to come, we've had several organizations that want to come and rent out the entire park. They kind of just first come, first serve, we're going to go out and do that. Now we're having them, if it doesn't fall within a rental process, then they fill out the event and then we charge accordingly. So that's what it is. And that's what that stage one also is. We took out renting the stage, but you can put the stage under a community event to rent the stage. So.
Can I ask a quick question? Is there signage at the parks on that requirement?
So we need to update those.
On the Bowery.
There are signs that you can no longer see. So we are working on getting all the rules updated, and those signs refreshed. So we can put something on there for reservations for sure.
Yeah, I was just thinking if you got, a Bowery there and you got.
Oh, yeah, so when.
You got a bunch of guys that show up to have lunch or whatever, and they're sitting there.
Yes, we do have reservation signs on all of the locations that we put a big, Michelle and Jamie, they print out who comes and reserves whatever Bowery or what location. And then my park guys get them and go put them on that so everyone knows.
Then who handles the enforcement of that?
My park superintendent.
Okay.
That's all on my part.
So like we discussed last week, with Curtis here, so we did the water rate, excuse me, the $5 increase for the water, the $1 for the wastewater, and then the $1 for the sewer. I believe
But
those,
that's what Carl has the concern with, right?
He does, he has a concern with
His
that.
concern is just,
It might
we're
be
gonna do
more
it
than
right
that.
now, and then
Then
are
we
you guys
won't
gonna
want
be apt to wanting to do it again once we do the utility rate studies and see what they really should be?
I mean,
Yeah.
the data and the utility rate study is what we point at, right? So in my mind,
He
there's not
thinks,
gonna be a problem.
he reached out to me today, and he says that he thinks he can get the utility rate study done in a hurry. Just do it in-house. He thinks he can get that done in a hurry. He kind of feels like we're trying to rush this through, and it may bite us in the end. Because if, like Lindsay said, if we raise rates right now, but we find out that they should be even higher or lower, or whatever they
What
are.
is he proposing?
Carl, he wants to do a utility rate study and hold off on this for a minute, is what he would like to do. Because this,
We need this in order to cover our bonds. It's
So, yeah,
it's a
we
scary part.
have to, right?
yeah, and
What if we just commit to doing both?
That's what we've asked you
Yeah.
to commit to.
I'll commit to that.
And
Well,
in fact, we
but
studied-
we need to rely on Jamie and what she's
What do you think?
proposals.
Do we wait for that study? I kind of agree with, we raised them and everybody calls us and chews us out, and then we do it again and
I mean,
we have to do
The
the
bond
bond
obligation.
is the $5 one is to stay in the covenants of that one. That one's a must.
like our hands are tied.
These
on
other
that.
two, the rate, I'm surprised it's gonna be just $1. I would be surprised if it's just $1. So if you wanna wait, that's fine, but the funds are hurting. The funds really are hurting. And then I don't know, because Curtis was the one that suggested the $1 raises for the wastewater and the sewer. And I don't really know the reasoning behind that, other than there's no money to do the projects that Carl needs to
We've got a
do.
lot of projects.
We're hurting in the wastewater treatment plant.
So you're saying that dollar bit's definitely gonna be more.
It's not gonna make, it's gonna make some difference, but it's hardly gonna be anything is what's really necessary.
it's like a drop in the bucket.
Yeah.
What we need.
So if you wanted to hold off, I
But
mean,
by that
it's
point,
not
we'll have the
effective.
data to back it.
But we need to do
Tim, that's
part of
what
it.
This
for
was
the
enough to
bond.
cover the operating expenses.
Right.
All of the dollars.
But we need to do the $5 to stay in.
That one is for the
Like-
bond company, yeah.
But you're saying the other ones may be, we may raise $1 now, but then we may raise it, that same fee more. I don't think we should raise the same fee twice in a year. We ought to just do it once.
You think the water rates are gonna go up?
so is it the water rate's gonna be?
Yeah, that's
good?
what
We have to stick with the water rate at the $5 to get us to the 125% of net operating revenues. We have to have that $5 rate. And
projects we need.
yes, and that's another conversation. So we're just covering the bond covenants and just covering operating expenses. We haven't talked about capital and infrastructure. That's a whole other conversation coming.
So what I'm seeing here is, do we get ourselves, we're covering the bond, then in a few weeks, months or so, we sit down and we start talking with all this data that's come back to us. Now this is what we do.
And I believe that that's what Carl's getting at, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because there's a capital infrastructure, so water lines, and then there's going to be the capital facilities plan, which is impact fees. So they're totally separate, and then
Correct.
aligning the water rates to get the capital infrastructure done.
But just what Brett said, he says we don't really want to do it twice in 1 year. That's why
I
I'm saying,
With the
what
water
Carl's
though, we
concerned.
can't have.
do we just do the water and leave the sewer till his
Mhm.
thing shows up?
Well, and that's what Carl even said when I talked to him last week. He says, you know, what little bit we're raising it is
Yeah.
not really going to make a dent in anything they need. And that's why he just suggested.
What would Curtis say against that? Do we know?
I don't know.
What
So
Was it sewer, he said?
I
Was
would just
it,
hate if there's up.
One of them was-
whatever, yeah, I can't remember if it was sewer or
It's
treatment
not
plant,
very
he said
long.
doesn't
It's
necessarily
only a
need to
month.
be done,
Yeah,
but.
and
I
I
think it's
trust our department.
the
heads.
sewer one,
Okay.
but
I
to
agree.
put it in perspective, the sewer would be $45,000 a year.
I only ask because usually there's a thing that
Yeah.
you're like, oh, so So I'm just
And I-
curious why you would propose that.
I don't,
I'm comfortable enough with Carl and Jamie making the call that,
Uh-huh.
and he can figure that out later.
But we still have to.
But we still have to, I mean, we do still have to decide that, but,
So what we're saying here is we raise we're thinking of raising the base rate $5 and not raising the sewer rate $1
Till we get the
until we get more data.
sewer and wastewater.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because one of them, even Kurt said, you don't have to really do that yet, but it sounds like we gotta do more than that.
we're gonna have to do a lot more.
Yeah.
We're way behind.
there was one, when we were talking about the
We'll
treatment
have to
plant, we
do
were
that.
talking about all the stuff coming in. And he said that somewhere along the storm drain route, we were getting stormwater into the sewer, and that it'd be about 200 grand to do a study to figure, but that we could save a lot of future money if we did that study. Is doing that study anywhere in the
He hasn't mentioned it the last
future?
3 meetings we've had. He hasn't even brought it up. He's just more worried about this and not being able to be in line with the fees after the study is done, the rates after the study's
I
done.
mean, could we?
But he's more worried about the sewer and the wastewater than the water.
But he's not worried about the water. He's just worried, Curtis is worried about paying the water bond.
Well, that's
But we also
like,
don't have money to
that's
do
an
water
obli-
projects.
But we don't have the money to
It's just
do,
covering our bond.
it, that's, yeah, it doesn't,
Fixing water lines or.
that's what the people, that's what we need to understand is this doesn't help Carl at all. This $5 raise. This is just to cover the
keeps us out
bond.
of jail.
You, maybe. I'm not going.
You are if you sign the thing.
Which I'm jumping back
You're in
on,
there.
I'm gonna jump back on Jamie's bandwagon of the asset schedules, right? Like, that's why for 2 years we've been talking about those, and I'm so excited to see that come to fruition. So, keep it up.
What would
You
you
got
do if you were on this side of the table?
If it was me, I do the 5 to keep us in bond covenant and then drop the other 2 and do the water study.
And then address it when we have it.
That's what we should do.
I agree.
Is that it?
I believe so. I believe that's it.
Okay.
So on a resolution,
That's what?
we have to, when we do a resolution, we'll have to.
We'll have to
Oh,
modify
yeah.
it.
Yes, yeah, your motion.
All right, how about compensation and classification plan?
You're gonna see this meeting and you're seeing it again next meeting, but this one is just solidifying, the pay increase, or the increase to the pay scale for the fire department, which we've already figured in the budget, but wanted to get your sign off to make sure you're cool with that because it's already in the budget, so. It'll be approved tonight, and then next meeting, it's gonna come back to you with all of the 3% COLA increases to all of the mins and maxes and, police and fire pay scales, so. So this won't be in effect until July 1st, this pay scale increase, but I wanted it to be approved as it is part of the budget.
And it's already
It's already figured in.
figured in the budget. We don't have to come up with something. Okay.
It's already in the budget, so. This is the next one. This was our, in talking with Dalton about that water right issue we were having in Honeyville. This is our attempt to see if the state will accept this and let Vince Rogers put that water right in his name.
Yep.
I don't know that we're fully thinking it's gonna work, but
We just have to pass the resolution to, okay.
you have to explain that the only reason we bought the land and the only way we could do it is because we had this purchase already planned to have the water right and property sold to Vince Rogers in order to get the water shares of Bear River Canal Company shares, so.
And I guess so the public understands this is a resolution to try to help give Vince Rogers the rights to use the water that he's using on the land that he has. And we're just trying to find a way to make
That
it
was the
work.
original intent. We didn't
Yeah.
realize that we couldn't do that as a
Yeah,
municipality.
so-
Okay, understand that one.
Okay. Chief Cordova.
Takes me like 60 seconds. So we,
Set the time.
yes, challenge accepted.
I'm just kidding.
We have contract services for policing in Garland. Just basically with that, we're taking on the schools. That money will come directly to Tremont and it will be renegotiated. I think it's every 2-3 years.
5 years.
Says 5.
Okay, 5 years. I was way off. Yeah, so this is just us taking that, it's free money for the city. I mean, we're providing a service. It's not a hard decision to wrestle with unless you guys have questions.
So the county does pay half of the wages. I mean, not the county, the school district pays half of
And
the
it's
wages.
legit, like I went to the spreadsheet I use for employee expenses for the budget and said, this is the total compensation value we are paying for the 2 officers and they will pay half of that.
Okay.
And they were great to work with. When we negotiated last year before, it was like a nothing deal. So just pretty good.
Do you have any concerns with it?
Nope. Not a one.
Okay.
Anything else?
Nope.
Cool.
Thanks, Chief.
Easy. How'd I do?
54.
Yeah, right.
6 to split.
Okay, interlocal agreement with Garland for court services.
So this is just because now we're gonna be a combined, well, we are, anyway. We have the contract to be the police department for Fremont and Garland. It doesn't make sense to have the Garland Justice Court going to the county, which they have been doing for the last year, 6 months, I'm not sure how long it's been. So this agreement would just mean that every citation that our officers write in Tremont or Garland will come to our court here rather than the Tremont tickets coming here and Garland tickets going to the county.
That makes sense.
So it makes,
And it saves the driving time.
absolutely, if they had
And
a
it just brings us
court
together.
case, they'd have
Yeah.
to bring them to our office.
Does Garland get the revenue, what revenue is there?
Yes, hold that up.
I mean, what, didn't they have concern before like that?
Their concern when we approached them originally was that to use our prosecutor was just gonna charge them hourly like he charges us. And they wanted a set fee, so they knew what they were paying and the county offered them that.
So we're doing the same
Yeah.
fee that the county's doing. We're just gonna match it.
That works.
And it talked to Judge Erickson and he feels that
He's already
everything's gonna be
seen
just
them in
fine.
the county, so they'll be seeing them here now instead.
So he's on board
And
with
we'll
this.
provide public defender, prosecutor, bailiffs, all the court personnel for it, which we already do.
And so if we approve this, then this will go to Garland and Garland will have the option to approve it or not.
Yes, and we have it here July 1st, or this does have to go to the administrative office of the courts, the AOC. And they're meeting tomorrow.
20 or
Okay,
something.
so I don't know if they're gonna be able to get it on their agenda to approve, so we have the caveat in there that July 1st, or as soon as the AOC approves it, and allows that to be moved, so.
Okay? Any questions on that one? Okay, discussion of Fisher annexation. Who wanted to deal with that one?
You want me to?
Yeah, you or I can.
This is
Yeah.
one that you guys can't annex anyway, but this is the process that the county goes through, that they've applied for a permit in the county, and the county says, oh, sorry, we can't give you a permit until you go to Tremont City because you're in their future annexation boundary or adjacent to it. So they have to come to us to get a denial. We have to say, we don't want to annex you in order for them to get their building permit through the county. But this is in a spot, it would create an island. There's all things that we can't annex it.
Yeah.
But we thought it was good to have it on here and get your official approval to send a denial to the county so that they'll issue a building permit through the county. Yep, send it. We're good.
Okay.
Totally glad I guessed.
Okay, we're gonna catch up there, you guys. Okay. We're gonna go with the last subject here before we break. On our strategies. During the week, I got thinking about this and someone asked me, what is my agenda? I thought, well, I don't know. I don't have one, But I got thinking about it, and Zach and I talked a little bit about this. And if I was to just say to someone, my agenda as mayor, and I think as a city council, is council sets the strategies, departments carry them out, citizens shape them. Okay? All pointed at one thing, a more connected Tremonton, with stronger relationships, vibrant and safe spaces, and roots built to last. So in other words, as a council, we're going to set the strategies. Our departments will then get together and figure out how we're going to carry these out. But our citizens are going to be the ones that are going to point and say, this is what we want you to do. So we're working horizontally all together. Okay?
Sounds
And that's my vision. Now it's not, of course, we have the vision of Tremonton City, but my vision is how do we get from here to there? And that's my agenda. I don't have a specific agenda, So if we can accomplish this, I think we've done some wonderful things. With that in mind, and put on your glasses because this is small and that'd be a little bit bigger up there. But
Actually, just got the motion focus, so I can read this without.
But this is pillar one we talked about last week, okay? And so took some of the things that you guys had mentioned and we put them in and we built pillar one. So today we want to talk about pillar two, connected to each other. Zach, come on up here. You're going to help us with this. And so Zach put together some of these challenges. Do you want to talk about those, Zach?
Yeah, so as the mayor talked about the residents and their portion of this, right? What I did is I went through and I feel connected to the community pretty well. I review typically all of the surveys. I'm out in the community. I go to several board meetings within the community. I'm out on the fields talking with people. And these are the challenges that I heard most, not necessarily in any order, other than they're the most I feel I hear from the pillars. So I put them into the pillars that I feel that they belong in. And so this is the feedback I feel from the residents is these are the challenges. These are the hard parts of living here in Tremonton. And then it's up to us or you as the council to set the strategy on how to overcome the challenges, right? And then up to you guys to set the priorities within those. Pillar two is connected to each other. The strategic focus should be belonging, inclusion, transparency, trust, and building community relationships. So even though we hear it as each other, there is a lot more to it than just what's on the surface, right? And so some of the challenges that we face is intolerance and social division. There's a low civic engagement and education. We're a very blue collar community, but only about, I think the statistics say we only have 14% of our residents have community college education.
14?
Yeah, it's pretty low. It's in the teens. So. Transparency deficit, there's been, people feel that a lack of openness and trying to get that out. Social toxicity and bullying, a lot of gossip and drug, but that's in almost every small community, right? So it's not, a lot of these aren't unique to us, but they are challenges that we do face. And that just because they're not unique to us doesn't mean we can't be the ones that find a solution for our community.
But that drives every one of them.
Yeah, it does.
I mean, it really does, because that's,
Well, and here's the other thing is that there are some of them that are, the pages are built to look like it's our community talking, and it's not. The organizers of it don't live in our community. The commentators, you know, the ones that are anonymous, you can't tell, but there's a lot of outside influence being planted, and so I mean, how you go about dealing with that, I don't know, but the social media part, I mean, it's not, I don't think that's how our community feels. I mean, I think there are some pages where you get a pretty good sense, and especially if they'll put their name behind it, but.
And to your point, a majority, I feel, of our community isn't even on social media because they want to avoid all that, right? But it still affects everyone, I feel, to some degree.
Yeah, because it's saying a message about.
It's an outside perception of the region upon us and how we.
So a desired outcome may be a area where people share-minded can get together and share those thoughts and, you know, and the positive and the negative.
You know, could we do something like fight fire with fire, right? A campaign that highlights good service, things that are happening in the community. You know, the positive sides of connection and things that are taking place, because we've all seen them. We know they're there, but it's like the media. How often do they highlight the good versus the bad,
I
right?
tried doing that with like the lemonade stands and the police officers
And that was a big thing.
yeah.
The kids loved it, parents loved it.
Absolutely.
I noticed community they were coming towards the lemonade stands that the children were doing where before they didn't. Anything, I'm agreeing with it, Bo just said, anything positive we can focus on.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm gonna throw this out there, with what could be coming to Tremont. I would love to see us beautify our town a little bit, and that is getting residents on board. Maybe we go back to a yard of the month, just to be positive in the different areas and highlight people doing good rather than, I think sometimes it's easier to let the social media rhetoric run over us. But anything positive we can bring into Tremont, I think would help a lot.
Well, and the reason I say that, my family went over to China and we adopted a little girl, and my wife uploaded a video. Before we knew it, we had 4 million views on this YouTube video. We were like, what in the? It was just a memory that we were. But 4 million people is a lot of people, and in the midst of that, I was just like, wow, that's impact. Like, social media does make it easy to deliver a message at mass.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so if we can control the narrative that these are cool things happening, at least we're framing, the city in a way that's good.
Absolutely.
And then in that video of us adopting people, there were comments that you would never believe how hateful and rude, so there will always be that, no matter what.
You can almost smell the Cheeto dust through the.
It was, yeah.
it's hard to not
It's unbelievable, but
look at the negative, and you can't, because
There's good.
if you look at social media, you look at Facebook, there's 20 crappy comments, and one somebody goes, yeah, I don't know if I believe that, but that's one out of hundreds.
But what if we could start some sort of a campaign that is viral in nature? You look at like the ALS or whatever it was when the ice bucket challenge did, right? Things that spread goodness and connection inside of the city. I think we could do something there.
Well, the goodness, and then I think the openness about where our deficiencies are, and that we're trying our best to fix those, and to streamline it. I think the more that we earn back the trust, whether it's an actual or perceived or whatever it is, you know, I think the rest of that comes along with it.
So we've only got 4 more minutes, so.
What if it was a campaign, a share the good campaign? Share something good that you saw another resident do of Tremont City. And just share it online, you know, an invitation. What if 50 people take it upon themselves to actually share it and hashtag the campaign that we do in it? You know, I think it has potential to really like take off.
Can you scroll down to the desired outcomes there? Okay, so in these desired outcomes, that would be one of those. Desired outcome is a highlight the good, some kind of campaign for that, right? We've got build connections, growth guided by a current adopted comprehensive plan. Okay, I think if we have a really good plan in place, that would
They're
really
working
help.
on that.
Yeah,
They're
they
really
are.
working on that.
But that would really help the city, right?
Mhm.
High dignity, we're working on the dignity index and treating each other with dignity. A modern, actively administered city website, that's hopefully coming on the 16th of July.
Have we received the wellness survey results?
No, so, it ended a couple months ago, but they have to compile every community in the state. And then then after that, so they said in August is when we'll
I am
see.
so excited to see that because I think it could guide this pillar a lot. Right, because it's the questions that give us the guidance.
A lot of them, yes.
Good idea. Okay.
So is there anything else that you would add to these desired outcomes so that we can put this all together and then come back and come up with some good outcomes, and then we can present these to the staff? And, you know, for example, with that comprehensive plan, well, there's quite a few departments that will affect.
It will, and they are working on
Yeah.
it. I mean, Christine and Jeremy are hitting this straightforward. They're working on it. I am excited for the new website to come out. Right now, to find even a public notice, there's a series of clicks you need to go through, but you have to know where the clicks are or you're not gonna get there. And I get that in my,
Is that gonna be on the new website?
Yes.
Okay.
you know, if we could just get out, the more transparent we are, the desired outcomes are gonna be better. But I do like the positive thing. Look for the positive.
All right, let's build these into this and then we'll get together. The next one is really where we're going to talk a lot about public safety, a lot of those things, becoming good neighbors. So try to have yourselves ready to talk about that on the 16th.
I'll try and get that some thought.
Yeah, why don't you give us some thought, Brad?
Do I need to send you a memo?
And we'll go ahead and adjourn until 7 o'clock.
I just sent you a memo, just a minute.
Okay, we'll go ahead and start our Tremont City Council meeting. We would like to welcome everyone out tonight. You can read our names up on the dais here, and I'm not going to go through the time to introduce everyone. So, but we'd like to welcome everyone here tonight. And this is going to be our last night for the summer of having the kids here to receive these awards. We're really proud of these kids, and you guys are all excited that school's out for summer, right? Yeah. Okay, we'll start out with a roll call.
We'll now do roll for the June 2nd meeting. Councilmember Westergaard.
Present.
Councilmember Lewis.
Present.
Councilmember Jess.
Present.
Councilmember Boca.
Present.
We have a quorum present.
Thank you. We will start out by having an invocation by Councilperson Boca, and then I've asked Raiden Fantz to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, and so we'll go to that point.
Our Father in heaven, we're grateful for thee. We're grateful for this building that we have to meet in as a city council. We're grateful for these beautiful students and their families that are here with us today. Please guide us and direct us in the decisions that we make, that we will make the right decisions and be able to help our citizens. Please guide our community into a positive direction. Help everyone look for the good in others and in everyone else. Please help us to reach out to our neighbors and be mindful of their needs. And as we travel home, please travel home in safety. And we say these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Brayden, that took a lot of guts. Good job. Okay, I would entertain a motion to approve our agenda for this evening.
Make a motion that we approve the agenda.
I second it.
Okay, a motion by Councilperson Lewis and a second by Councilperson Bogut. All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed, say no. Okay, we'll move forward. Do we have a declaration of conflict of interest on any of our subjects on the city council meeting tonight?
No.
Hearing none, we'll move forward. Okay, one of the best times of the evening. This is the presentation of our awards for these young kids. And you're great examples that you are in your schools. And so we're going to take a minute. We'll have Councilperson Jax or Councilman Jax stand up and he will read the names. We'll have you come up here. Give me a high five when you go by. Principals, we'd like you to come up here in the front with us. And we'd like all the kids to stay up front here with us so we can get a picture when we're done. The one thing we ask is that when you're holding your certificate up, when you're having the picture, turn it around so that it shows the Tremont City. We do not want to see your name on the pictures. Okay, we don't want to be putting that out on social media, and so we want to protect your identities, okay? So let's go ahead and do that. Thanks.
Okay, and as we do this, I'm actually not gonna have a photo taken with this on. And I had kind of a unique experience. A couple weeks ago in Washington, D.C., and I was at the White House and met the director of the Secret Service. And so I was like, man, I'd love to get my picture taken with you. And he's like, okay, that'd be great. So my wife's standing there and I go to take it off and he goes, should you be doing that? And I said, well, probably not, but I'm not going to get my picture taken with the Secret Service director where I'm at. So I take it off. One of his, I can't remember if my wife held it or if one of his guys held it. But we take the picture and then I go to put it back on and he steps out and he's like, nobody touch him until that's back on. And I was like, so this is what it's like to be the president. First, and I really think that I can pronounce these right. If I don't, please correct me, okay? So if I say a name and I mispronounce it, somebody, family, whatever, correct it because I want to actually read it as it's pronounced. Okay? Deal? Okay. Eli Firth. Aspen Reeder. Hazel Gingell. Hinkley Walcott. Maddox Hall. Monty Smith. Easton Pearson. Oops, sorry about that. Watch the handoff. Marlon Guevara. James Linford. Mackenzie Bradford. Emery West. Beespan. Beespan.
She just got done with.
I just put two and two together.
Yeah.
With technical
Yes,
trade.
you know.
Cicely Smith. Piper Sandel. And Daxon Vance.
So they got a nice $10 gift certificate to the Sweet Score, and parents, it's for the kids. Give us a chance. We're gonna walk up behind here, and we're gonna take a picture, and then we'll stay up there so everyone can come to the middle and get a picture if you'd like one. Okay? Oh, Dr. Jeff.
Hey, make sure you can all see me. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Great job. Parents, come on up. Take as many as you want.
Thank you. Thanks. Congratulations. And you kids had a great summer. And you're welcome to stay or you're welcome to go, or you go ahead and continue, but usually they are real empty about it. We'd like you guys to stay. Well, thank you, son.
We're out of
Just call me the Blair.
It usually is.
Just play things out. Thank you for coming. Now we're going to have a Year of Service Award by the Fire Department. Chief, are you out there? Come on in. We're going to honor Zach Olds.
Zach Olds, yep.
Zach, come on up.
For a minute.
Sorry, I had to make my way through the crowd.
Yeah.
Which is cool to see. Some good kids. So Zach Holtz has been with us for 5 years. So if you turn that way so everyone can see. So we have a little bit to say about Zach. So just a little bit about Zach and his history. He is a battalion chief at Hill Air Force Base Emergency and Fire Services since 2015. So Zach's been around the fire service for a while. His firefighting career began in 2009, just after high school when he graduated from Missouri. When he enlisted in the U.S. military, in the U.S. Air Force, as a fire protection apprentice. And so he served honorably from 2009 to 2015, including a deployment with the 379th Expeditionary Civil Engineer Squadron before transitioning to his current role at Hill Air Force Base. Personally, he's been married to his wife, Serena, for 15 years, and they relocated to Tremont shortly after the birth of his daughter, Kinsley, in 2017. Then they welcomed their son, Easton, in 2020, and then shortly after this, in 2021, he began working for Tremont City Fire Department. And he's proud to raise his family here in this community while continuing to serve in public safety and emergency services as a leader. And so Zach has been pretty awesome with helping us with a lot of things here in Tremont. And this next one, we asked him, said, what has been his favorite part of working for Tremont City? And this is a really awesome one, but you guys recently found out about a few weeks ago. He says he's had the opportunity to spend time with Tremont Fire Department building the hazardous materials program. He says, I secured more than $120,000 in grants for equipment and upgrades and training, while also being an active member of the Northern Utah Region 1 Hazmat Task Force. And so that task force is pretty much the northern half of Utah. It goes down to Salt Lake, is that correct?
Davis, Weaver, Box Elder, Cache, Rich, Morgan. I think it's those 6 guys.
And I was part of that task force as well. I still am, I guess. I joined when I was with Weaver, and that's where I first met Zach, was at some training. So I've known Zach for quite a while now. He's been heavily involved in hazmat. Where you guys recently witnessed some of his handiwork was, he says, the culmination of that work was authorizing the Western Liberty Foods Hazmat Agreement. Zach wrote the initial agreement on that. I asked him if he could do that. He drafted that up, and then we put it through the process to what it was and what we have now today. And so, sorry, let me find my place back, which was later approved by the council for an additional $10,000 for supplies and equipment. Seeing the program grow from its post 911 team into the fully supported regional capacity has been one of the most rewarding projects of his career. And so Zach has been awesome with helping us get that. We recently met with West Liberty Foods, and we're setting up the training portion of that agreement right now. So we'll be getting that training going this summer with them. And then, kind of a funny side note, he was asked what's his favorite quote, and he says, "You can't be mad at someone if you never took the time to show them how to do it properly." I like that. That's awesome. And what have you gained? What has Zach gained from working here at Tremont City? He says, part of the reason I started working for Tremont City was that Hill Air Force Base was beginning a transport ambulance service. At the time, I was a captain and had never worked on an ambulance. So I saw the opportunity to learn and serve in the community I lived in. I got a crash course in ambulance operations by starting during the height of COVID and the pandemic. Between responding to 911 calls and interfacility transports, I learned how challenging ambulance work can be. My approach to patient care changed drastically because I was working in an environment that required getting to know my patient beyond the initial 10 minutes of being on scene with the patient. And so Zach, thank you for your service here with Tremont.
Thank you, Zach. Thank you, Chief. Great. Okay, now is the citizen engagement portion of our meeting. Residents may address the council on any item tonight because we do not have any new business. So rules for engagement, we use what we call the dignity standard, the way we treat each other. So hard conversations require the honest truth and a respectful tone. we're committed to fixing the problems without making it personal. Let's keep this conversation productive so we can get back to the work of building a better Tremont together. Speakers who, I don't know, do we have one? Okay, we have a registered speaker, and then anyone after Chris Campbell speaks, then we'll, they're welcome to come up. You get 3 minutes, and just remember that we cannot make decisions or anything up here. We're here to listen. Please don't think because we're not responding back, we're ignoring you, but we are listening. Thank you. The time is yours.
Yeah, thank you so much for the opportunity to speak briefly. My name is Chris Campbell, and I'm here today as a neighbor, witness, and someone who still feels the weight of 2 tragedies in our neighborhood: the deaths of our officers last year and the deaths of the young boy in our neighborhood. On September 21st, 2025, while we were still grieving the loss of our heroes, and I view them as our literal neighborhood heroes, an ambulance arrived at my neighbor's home. Because of the recent trauma, I had made it a point to be more present for my neighbors, so I ran over to help. I believe the mother was having a medical emergency. She had a few before, but what I found was much worse. And the children were taken out of the home and then placed in a car. I saw that they were alone, and I went to the car and I held them as they were crying, talking about their brother. When the EMTs carried the boy out, it was clear his life was slipping away. And later at the hospital, we learned the truth and the boy was gone. On May 8th, 2026, the community learned that the parents had been arrested and accused of horrific crimes, including child abuse, homicide, and child torture. The details reported publicly were disturbing. They described acts no child should ever endure. Then just days later, on May 13th, we learned that both individuals had been released back into the public, as they should have. It has now been more than 3 weeks since the arrest, and I've learned a few additional details that suggest there may be conflicting information surrounding the child abuse homicide accusation. So I have several questions. Number one, why was there communication failure between the Tremont and Garland Police Department and the County Attorney's Office? 2, why have no charges been filed yet? And if the evidence is insufficient, why hasn't a public statement been released? 3, if there truly is insufficient evidence to charge the parents, then why are their children still separated from them? And then 4, ultimately, when will a decision be made? And my assessment is this, and I can't pinpoint to anyone because I don't know who's really at fault for this whole situation, but my assessment is this. This situation is not just unsettling, it reflects a failure of leadership, communication, and basic community protection. If the delay is due to poor communication, that is profound professional failure. If the delay is due to leadership decisions, that is profound moral failure. Either way, the community deserves better, the boy deserves better, and the parents deserve the respect of the justice system that protects their rights, protects their standing in the community, and protects their children. In short, great leaders take responsibility, great leaders solve problems, great leaders communicate. What I'm asking for is simple: mercy for our neighborhood, safety for our children, expediency in the investigative and legal process, accountability from those entrusted with protecting us. And our neighborhood has endured too much, and we would like that peace and safety. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Hello again. You can tell I've been here for a little while, not going out of town. I will be in a few minutes. My name's Chris Danvers. Before I touch any of this, and I've got a lot, you guys had a great workshop. I'd just like to invite the gentleman who just spoke and let him know that we have an emotional wellness committee. I think his concerns align exactly with that, and I would invite you to come to our next meeting. It is put out on Facebook when those meetings are. And if you don't know, or if you'd like to ask me later, I'll share with you when that time is. I'll try and get through this really quick. Ideas from the workshop: have you guys ever considered having a city fleet mechanic versus outsourcing maintenance? somebody who could possibly do a lot of preventive maintenance on the vehicles and save some money for the city. I don't know if that would be saving money or just adding another cost. As far as ambulance delivery, maybe you guys, before you sign that contract, put a clause in it for any kind of penalty rebate if not delivered on time. And that way you get insured, either save some money. As I've said this in the past, reach out, get volunteers from the community. I know this used to be a volunteer fire department. It just needs more people coming. Fire department fees for anything that includes man hours should include the loaded cost as opposed to just the hourly cost, because the city's also paying for benefits. All of those should be included into there. And I got a lot of other stuff, but I'll save it or maybe put it into an email. Okay. You guys are doing great, and I think you should keep it up.
Thank you. Thank you for your time. Any other comments? Come on up.
Maybe. My name is Val Burton. I'm a little concerned about what I'm hearing being proposed for a home in our community. I believe it's on the northwest corner of 7th North and 2nd East. We're familiar, most of you are familiar with what happened there. But I'm hearing about a group home moving in there that to me doesn't seem appropriate for that location. I realize they need it, but to be that close to a school doesn't seem appropriate. Now, a little over a week ago, I witnessed something there. I'd heard disturbing things about it, what was going to go on there. But a week ago, I witnessed one of them. I was at a home next door to where Becky Roach lives, on that corner. A fellow came around the corner and was attempting to go in her backyard. And she was out of town on vacation. Donna Andrews saw it, recognized the young man, walked over and says, "You can't go in there." He kept trying to go in. She went over and made sure he understood he's not welcome to enter there, and for fear of having the dog get out and they're being rounded up. Well, a couple of minutes later, well, it wasn't even that, she went through the yard because she says he's going to try to enter in the other gate on the other side of the house, which he did, which she got there in time to lock it first. I've understood that this is not uncharacteristic for one of these boys that live there. Becky had been told that they may enter her home at any time and take something out of the fridge, but they will bring it back. To me, if that happened at my house, when he went home, he would be escorted by a policeman. I don't think that kind of thing is appropriate, and I can't understand why that would be something that this proprietor of what she's doing there, why that would be something that would be allowed. Anyway, I don't think it's appropriate for that community. It's right next to a church or a school, and all the little kids are walking past there. I'm not going to be here. I guess it's on your agenda in 2 weeks.
I hope so.
I'm going to be out of town, so it was suggested that if I had anything I wanted to add to it, to come tonight. But I would just hope that there's something that can be done to provide safeguards, if not actually not have that happen in our community. Okay. Thanks.
Thank you. Nothing from the back row?
Doing a great job. Ollie.
Okay. That's my family back there. Okay, well, with no other citizens here to speak, we'll go ahead and close that portion of our agenda. And thank you so much for your comments. They're appreciated. I don't know that we have any unfinished items from city council workshop. Was there anything?
Ooh, I do have one thing that I didn't get in time, and it's more of a notification, is that Officer Nick Nesson with the police department was awarded he's one of our SROs at the middle school, and he was given the teacher of the employee of the month or quarter or year or whatever it was, but wanted to make sure that Nick got recognized for the solid work that he's doing at the middle school. So I just want to make sure that got in there.
Thank you. That's good information.
I left an item off on my reports too that was the billboard. We do have a company interested in the billboard. I'm working with the head of marketing of that company on negotiating the terms, and right now they're just investigating exactly where it's at, and what they're willing to do. So we should hear back on that soon. So
okay.
Apologize, it's taking some time, but that's where it's at.
You're busy, huh?
All the free time.
Anything else?
I think Jeff's just sending these guys out with the siren on just to try to get the priorities.
So they're just going around the block.
Yeah.
Yeah, work on that emotional guilt here on the stand. No, great. Well, we appreciate our safety personnel for sure. Okay. Next, we will entertain a motion on the consent agenda. Any council member may request an item be removed for a separate discussion if you wish. We're going to approve the minutes from May 19th, 2026. Approval of the resolution number 2629, amending the fees and fines.
Do we need to remove that one?
The water.
I think that's here
In the motion.
Yeah. Approval of the resolution number 2630, compensation and classification plan. Approval of the resolution number 2631, clarification of water rights. Approval of the resolution number 2632, the MOU with the Box Elder School District for SROs. And the approval of the resolution number 2633, interlocal agreement with Garden for court services, and then the denial of the Fisher annexation. And I believe the one that we're talking about is the compensation and classification, or is that the amending
I
fees?
think it was the amending fees and fines.
Okay, so if you wanted to amend that one, it would be resolution number 2629.
That's because we need to remove it in order to amend it, right?
No,
No.
just
you
you
can
can
In your motion,
change it.
make a motion to approve with.
I have a question before we.
Okay.
On the fees, on the building fee, the business license fees, are we now charging for rentals?
No, we're still working with Zions to get that study.
Okay, that's
And they're
the
doing
case.
a business license fee study also in conjunction with that, so we should have outdated.
So that's not being included tonight,
No, no,
but we're, okay, then I'm good.
Yeah, but we're working on it. It's
I
in
know you are.
process, so
I know.
it'll take a minute, but yeah, we'll bring those to you as soon as we've got them for your approval. So.
Okay, thank you.
I will make a motion to approve the consent agenda with the amendment that, okay, once again, I don't want to say this.
Sewage and wastewater fees. That's what we
Resolution.
want.
Yeah, resolution 2629,
2629,
removing the dollar.
removing the $1 wastewater sewer increase at the moment and just going with the $5 water, culinary water increase.
Great. Okay,
That sounds smart.
we have a motion by Councilman Jex and a second by Councilman Westergaard. We'll have a roll call.
Councilmember Jess.
Yes.
Councilmember Boca. Yes. Councilmember Westergaard.
Yes.
Councilmember Lewis.
Yes.
It passes, all in favor.
Okay, thank you. Well, wow, reports and calendar. Let's go ahead and, do we have any Cedar City leadership that has anything? Lindsay, do you have anything?
I was just gonna say, I've been working on finishing up grants that I'm trying to figure out. There are ones that like Sean got 3-4 years ago that I'm trying to figure out and get closed up. So I did get the ARCOG one for Midland Square is closed. That was the one that they only gave us 90% up front, so we didn't get the other 40 grand they owed us for the other 10%.
Cool.
So we got that. We had a tourism grant that I finished up, and then we have a water grant that I'm working on getting finished up. It was for the 2 equalization basins and the ASR project. So figuring those out and how to do grants, which I've not done in a lot of in the past, so.
That's how you learn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
You'll do it. So
good. Glad to have you on board.
I have one, Chief Cordova stepped up, Lynette Swanson had a benefit walk that she organized in Lee's memory, and so Chief Cordova went to that, but he asked if I would pass along a grant that he's working on. It's a $400,000 grant that he's working directly with the Department of Justice in the COPS office. It would fund a detective for 2.5 years. After that, we would have to agree to keep them on. This particular one is built around a major investigation unit, which is the one we talked about in the work meeting about if one of the ambulances would be a good forensic unit or anything like that. And he has already received letters of support from the Box Elder County Sheriff, the Chief of Perry, and the Chief of Brigham City for that collaborative effort. And should have more details on it by the time we meet again in 2 weeks. But it's a grant that he's obtained before, and so he's pretty familiar with the people that he's working with at DOJ to obtain it.
Great. Anything else? Okay, let's look at our calendared events. So we have our summer concert, Schumann Park from 6 to 8. The Relics are singing. And any of these things that we can support as a city, I think what we did at the library park went a long ways to show how we work so great together as a council and as a city. And so the more that we can support, the better. I think that's important.
I loved that event.
Yeah, Mugs and Bananas Drag Night. I'm excited for that. So let's make sure everyone knows about that. It's a really fun event where a bunch of old hot rod cars go up and down Main Street, and then right over here they have a section that they've put aside that they can do peel outs. And it is pretty cool. There'll be times there'll be so much smoke you won't see the car or anything. It's fascinating to watch. And then at Midland Square, there will be someone playing a concert for us. So it should be a good time. Who?
Opie's alumni band.
Oh, Opie, okay. Greg Horspool.
And if you haven't heard him play,
He's a good drummer, isn't he?
he can drum.
Oh, cool. And then the summer concert from 6 to 8 on June 27th at Schumann Park, Opie's alumni band. So good stuff. Is he also playing the Mugs and Bananas?
I don't think so. Oh, there's a band that night too.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, they'll be in the Midland.
Okay. And then the farmer's market that is hosted by a business in town. The first Saturday of each month at Schumann Park from 10 to 2 during May and September. And then on here, we have an outdoor adventure challenge that's put on by our rec department. Let's get our kids out. I don't know how many people saw my newsletter, but I did put in my newsletter a little blurb about how we lost the internet in our neighborhood. And I said to my wife, what do we do now? It was, I was lost. And so we went out and went for a ride and went out to dinner and yeah, I think a lot of the people from our neighborhood got out and went for walks. So we need to get outdoors and do a little bit more, and I kind of encourage that in that newsletter. So, anything else? Well, then we need to go into a closed session to discuss some property. And so I will entertain a motion. When we go into closed session, that means everyone gets to leave, and we thank you for coming and supporting our meeting tonight. I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, we have a motion to go into closed session by Councilman Jex. Do we have a second? A second by Councilman Lewis. All those in favor? No, a roll call.
Councilmember Jex?
Yes.
Councilmember Boca? Yes. Councilmember Westergaard?
Yes.
Councilmember Lewis?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for attending. Thanks, Chris.
Bye, Cheryl.
So that's my son.
How's it going?
Well, things that kind of have property.
Yeah, and then my